Donating blood in the Netherlands as someone who grew up in an African country is not as easy as I thought. All I wanted to do was just donate blood, man. So if you're like me and you grew up in a country outside of the EU and you want to donate blood in the Netherlands, as I think you should if you can, then this video is for you. So the more I educated myself of the burden of sickle cell and how it affects a lot of people in the African communities, I knew I wanted to do something to help. One way I found I could help was donating blood and increasing the black blood bank. So I went online and tried to find places where I could donate, and that was easy. Signed up, made a quick appointment for an intake. That went with no issues. The intake is meant to assess if you can actually donate or not. Upon arrival for the intake, the lady at the reception was not the friendliest person I've ever met, but that's besides the point. I had to fill this form stating stuff such as where I grew up, have I been outside the EU in the last 3 to 6 months, have I ever lived in countries where certain diseases are more prevalent for more than 6 months, etc., etc. Then after that, I got called in by the doctor to discuss the form. And you already know your boy grew up in Cameroon, and if there was one disease I had a solid bond, solid connection with, it was malaria. I got malaria quite often. I know when people in Europe hear about malaria, they kind of freak out, understandably so, because it legit can be dangerous. But as for me and my household, yeah, we were regular habitats of the malaria parasite. I'm talking like every other month or so. Once the doctor read this and I told her how often I had malaria, I could literally see her brain cells like freak out. Not gonna lie, I was low-key laughing on the inside. But important to know that if you grew up in an African country like me, where malaria is prevalent, or any country outside of Europe where malaria is prevalent, you would need to do a test for malaria before you can donate. Every time you go back home, you would have to wait 4 months after returning to be able to donate again. That is, after a blood test is done to confirm you don't have the parasite in your blood. Others who just visit malaria areas have to wait 6 months. So I guess there is some benefit to having gone up there. So that also means if you go back home often a year, donating blood could be quite tricky. But hey, as a medical doctor who works in preventive medicine, I get it. Anyways, did you know that blood transfusions could be critical to save the lives of people who have the sickle cell disease? And that there is a higher chance that blood from someone of African descent is more likely to be compatible than others? If you can, think about donating. It could legit save a life.